Newer agents are using AI to close the gap. And yet most experienced agents don't even realize that the gap is closing. That's where we start today. Welcome to the Creative Authority Podcast. I'm Matt Goldman. I'm a real estate agent with 12 years of experience, and I've used AI extensively in my business over the last 3 years, but I've also used it to build my business twice over different markets, and I've learned a lot in doing that, and now I'm very interested in helping you learn that same thing. Let's start like we're speaking to an experienced real estate agent. You've been in the real estate industry for 5, 8, 10 years, and you probably have assumed, at least somewhere in the back of your mind, that experience buys you something. That time that you've put in creates like a distance between you and the agent who just got their license 6 months ago. And for a long time, that was true. That gap was volume, touch points, output. The experienced agent has systems, right? You have relationships, you have a database, you have a rhythm, you have lived experience that creates information that translates into content that you can put out into the world. While a newer agent is still figuring out how to write an email that doesn't sound desperate and commission hungry. That gap is gone. It's not shrinking, it's gone. A first-year agent with a good prompt library and a $20 ChatGPT subscription can now outproduce a veteran on raw content alone. Not eventually, now, this week. So the question isn't whether it's happening, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Here's what I want you to understand about this, because I think that most people are misreading it. The threat isn't in newer agents posting more. The threat is that the volume that used to indicate expertise doesn't anymore. When a prospect saw an agent consistently in their feed twice a week, every week for 2 years, they made an unconscious assumption that this person knows what they're doing, and volume felt like authority. It felt like an evidence that person had authority. Which means if your strategy right now is to post more often, you're fighting the wrong battle. You're playing the wrong game on the wrong field with the wrong ball. Like you're competing on the one variable that everyone now has access to with AI. An experienced real estate agent's advantage was never volume. It was judgment. It was the opinion formed from watching the same market cycle through multiple seasons. It was a specific way that you see a negotiation or you see a seller's hesitation or when a neighborhood is about to shift without anyone else talking about it. That's not something a newer agent can share or replicate with a $20 ChatGPT subscription. Here's the catch. It's also not something that shows up automatically in your content. You have to put it there on purpose. I want you to imagine something with me here. You have a 9-year agent, and we're going to call her Maria. She starts noticing that a colleague who joined the office a year ago, Kelsey, we'll call her, suddenly is getting more social media traction. She's getting more engagement on those platforms. More likes and more comments and more shares, and she's posting 5 times a week, and Maria is posting twice still. The obvious read on this from Maria is that she needs to post more, and that's the wrong read. What Maria does instead, this is a real story, what Maria does instead is she stops asking herself, how much, how often, what can I do now? And she starts asking herself, what can only I say? So she stops writing about the market in general. She stops making content about market updates and just solds, and she actually starts talking about what she has observed over the last 9 years, the patterns that she has repeated, the mistakes that she's seen buyers make in every different environment of this market. And the thing that she tells sellers in the first meeting that most agents would never bring up, and this is her superpower. She has 9 years of experience. She has also created a reputation for herself where she will ask a client, like, how did you hear from me? And that client will say, oh, You worked with my friend. They told me to call you and do whatever you say. And that type of authority, AI cannot do. AI cannot replicate that type of reputation. And those are the things that she realized that she needed to be showing to the world and putting in her marketing content. So she started doing that. And within 60 days, her inbound DMs more than doubled. These are from warm leads, people who just saw her on the internet. And her follower count grew more slowly than Kelsey's, the newer agent in her office. But the quality of the conversations that she was having was significantly more impactful for her business than a number of views or a number of likes. Right? People are reaching out already, trusting her before she's even had a conversation with them in real life because of the content she's putting out so authentic. And this is what authority does. It scales differently than volume. So here is the honest question about this. If a first-year agent took your last 5 posts and published them without changing a word, would anyone notice it wasn't them? So I'm going to say that again because, man, that's important. Think about this. If a first-year agent, brand new agent to the business, not even first year, 2 weeks, they have a ChatGPT subscription. They're putting in the same prompts that you're putting in. If they can post the same thing that you posted, like for the last 5 times, and all they did was change the name and the picture, but the content was all the same, would anybody notice that it wasn't you who posted it? And if the answer is no, if nothing you've published recently can only have come from you, that's not a content problem. That's an authority problem. And posting more or showing up, being top of mind, won't fix it. What fixes it is getting specific about what you actually believe, not what the market is doing, not what rates are doing, not top 5 tips for buyers. What do you think? What have you seen that changed how you work? Where do you disagree with the conventional wisdom in the marketplace right now? That's the content that can't get commoditized. So here's what I want you to actually do this week. We're going to take 3 things, and none of them will take more than an hour. And if it takes an hour, that's actually a long time. First, I want you to stop measuring your content output by quantity. And I want you to start asking how much of your actual judgment shows up in each piece, whether that's a mailer, whether that is an Instagram post or a Facebook post, or whether that's an email to your sphere. I want you to measure how much of you is in there, what your opinion is in there. That's the only number that matters right now. Then I want you to identify one belief that you hold about real estate in your specific market that most agents don't share or wouldn't say out loud or don't know. Most importantly, don't know. And I want you to build one piece of content around that this week, just one. Again, this could be a mailer to a neighborhood. This could be an email to your sphere. This could be a social media post. This could be a LinkedIn post or an Instagram reel script. Just say something that is yours and use AI to help create it. I can help you build your AI in a way that helps you create these things. But even if you don't, just make something real that only you could do and see what happens. Third thing, I want you to go back and read your last 5 posts and count the number of times your specific opinion, your experience, your actual take on something appeared. If the answer is 0, you found the problem. Now you know where to start. That's why you're not getting anywhere in your marketing. The agents who are going to win in an AI-saturated market are not the ones who post the most. They're the ones who figured out that AI works best when it's been trained to carry something real, when it's a foundation that actually knows what your business is and the architecture of your language. Your point of view, built over years of sitting across from clients in some of the most significant financial decisions of their lives, that's real. put it in the work on purpose every time. That's what creative authority is all about. I'll see you next week.